Dear student, I am starting your lecture number 5 on a power amplifier. Today I will discuss your class A push-pull power amplifier. Power amplifier. See, this is your today topic is class A push-pull power amplifier. In a last lecture, we have seen the drawback of the single-ended transformer couple amplifier, or you can say disadvantages of a transformer couple amplifier. We have seen. In a lecture number 3, we have derived the efficiency of a transformer couple amplifier, and it is 50%. In lecture 4, we have seen the designing theory of a transformer couple amplifier and what are the disadvantages of the transformer couple amplifier. Today we will see that how the disadvantages of a transformer couple amplifier can be overcome in a class A push-pull power amplifier. So let us see the 3 disadvantages in your continuation of this lecture. First disadvantage is, you know that in a power amplifier the transistor is driven over a two extreme point of the load line, that is transistor is operated between saturation and cutoff point. As a result, harmonic distortion is large. This is a drawback of a transformer couple amplifier. Second, in a transformer couple amplifier, the load which gives the maximum output power is different than the load which gives the minimum harmonic distortion. Listen again. In a transformer couple amplifier, the load which gives the maximum output power is different than the load which gives the minimum harmonic distortion. For a good power amplifier, the harmonic distortion should be less. So one has to sacrifice the output power to have low value of harmonic distortion. This is called second disadvantages of a transformer couple amplifier. Third is that the magnetic saturation problem. The DC resistance of the primary of the output transformer is very less, so large value of the collector current will flow. So operating point Q will be located in a saturated magnetic field region. As a result, magnetic saturation problem arises. Due to magnetic saturation, your output will be distorted. Your distorted output is obtained. All these three drawbacks can be overcome in a push-pull circuit. Let us see now the class A push-pull power amplifier circuit. Now let us see the circuit diagram of class A push-pull power amplifier. So it's very simple circuit. Look here. This is your input transformer, or it is called driver transformer T1. Here you are connecting the signal Vs. This is a source resistance Rs. This is your T1. This is the transistor Q1. Here I am connecting transistor Q2, and this is connected to the output transformer. This is the output transfer. I am telling it is T2. Here is your load RL. Now this is your R1. This is your supply voltage which is connected to the center point. This is your resistor R2. It is jumper here and it is connected to this point. Now this is your VS1, VS2, transistor Q1, Q2, VCC, and these are connections. Here current will flow in this direction, IC1. Here current will flow in this direction, IC2. This is IC1, IC2. I will show your signal. This is your VS1. At the simultaneously I am showing you this is your VS2, this is your VS, this is your VS. Now see, let us start the how this circuit works. I am discussing working of this circuit, how the three drawbacks of a transfer coupled amplifier can be overcome in this circuit. I am explaining the function of each component, and we'll start from this side to this side. We're starting from here to explaining and we'll go up to this side. First, listen. Transformer T1 is known as a phase splitter. It is called phase splitter. Transformer T1 is known as a phase splitter, or you can say it split this VS signal into two signals, VS1 and VS2, both having a 180 degree phase shift. Both having a 180 degree phase shift. Okay. Both these having a how much phase shift? 180 degree. So I can say T1 is called phase splitter, which provides two signal VS1 and VS2 having a 180 degree phase shift, and both the signal are produced to the base of transistor Q1 and Q2, to the base of transistor Q1 and Q2. The value of the ratio of VS1 to VS and VS to VS, the ratio or value of the ratio of VS1 to VS and VS to the VS depends upon the number of turns ratio. It depends upon the number of turns ratio. This transformer T1 is selected in such a way that it match the impedance between the RS, source resistance RS, and the impedance of base of both the transistor. Again, T1 is a phase splitter. It produces the two signal and VS1 and VS2. It split the VS into two signal, VS1 and VS2, having a 180 degree phase shift with each other, and both is given to the base of the transistor. The ratio of the VS1 to VS and VS to VS depends upon the number of turns in a primary and secondary, or number of the turn ratio. This T1 also matches the impedance between RS and impedance of the base of the transistor. Let us come here now. R1 R2 is known as a bias resistor. R1 R2 is known as a bias resistor. Bias resistor. It provides it provides proper bias to the transistor Q1 and Q2. As a result, transistor is operated in a class A operation. Transistor is operated in which operation? Class A operation. Listen carefully. The R1 and R2 are selected in such a way that both the transistors are operated in a class A mode. This provides the proper DC voltage between base and emitter. As a result, the collector current will flow for both half of the AC input cycle. You know what is class A operation? In a class A operation, collector current will flow in a both half of the AC input cycle. So this here, for this a collector current will flow like this. It is going from here to here. Actually, it is going like this. And for this time, a collector current will flow in this way. This is IC2. So in this, through this winding, it is going in this direction. Through this winding, it is going in this direction. So R1, R2 provide the proper bias to the transistor Q1 and Q2. As a result, collector current flow through both the transistors for both half of the AC input cycle. Here in Q1, current will flow like this, DC current. In Q2, current will flow like this. I think you understand. Now, the center, this VCC is connected to the center point of the output transformer T2. VCC is connected to the center point of the output transformer T2. As a result, current will flow in both the half in this direction, you can see here. And both the collector current passing through the primary of T2 is in opposite direction. As a result, magnetic field effect is cancelled. Magnetic field effect is cancelled. You can see here VCC is connected to the center point of the transformer T2, and the current will flow in both in primary of the transformer T2 in a opposite direction. So they cancel the magnetic field effect of each other. As a result, magnetic saturation problem will be overcome. So there is no problem of the magnetic saturation because current flowing in both the direction, in opposite direction in a primary of the transformer. As a result, magnetic field effect is cancelled to each other. So there is no magnetic saturation problem. Now, voltage developed across secondary or voltage developed across RL depends upon the difference of the collector current. Here, voltage developed across secondary of the transformer T2 is proportional to the difference of collector current. Is proportional to difference of collector current. The voltage developed across the secondary, or you can say output voltage, you can say depends upon the output voltage, depends upon the difference of the collector current. Now, already I have shown the waveform Vs1 and Vs2. When Vs is positive, Vs1 is positive and Vs2 is negative. When Vs1 is positive, or you can say base of the transistor, listen again, the waveform of Vs and Vs1 and Vs2 is shown in the figure. When Vs is positive, then Vs1 is positive and Vs2 is negative. When Vs1 is positive means base of the Q1 will more positive. So this collector current will flow here like this. When Vs1 is positive, at the same time Vs2 is negative, so this becomes less positive, but collector current will flow here. But IC1 is more than the IC2 because this is more positive. So IC1 is more than the IC2, this is less positive. So IC2 is small, IC1 is what? More. So as this is increases, IC1 increases. So you will get the voltage across here proportional to this. Here IC1 is more and IC2 is less. So you will get the positive voltage at this point. Voltage across R is what? Positive. Now, when Vs is negative, Vs1 is negative, Vs2 is positive. When Vs1 is negative, the base of the transistor will be less positive. When Vs2 is positive, base of the transistor Q2 is more positive. If this is more positive, the collector current increases, IC2. This collector current decreases because it is a less positive. So IC2 is more than the IC1 in a next half. Again the voltage developed across secondary is proportional difference of this collector current. So you can say, let me use output voltage proportional to this. So as in a first half, this is increases, this is decreases. In a second half, this is decreases, this is increases. In a second half, you can say, in a second half, IC2 is more than the IC1. As a result, you will get the voltage across secondary of the T2 will be reversed, that I am showing you here. So this is called pushing and pulling nature of the circuit. One time this current increases, second time this current increases. So due to such pushing and pulling nature of the circuit, pushing and pulling nature of the circuit, even and their harmonic distortion are cancelled. Even harmonic distortion are cancelled without increasing odd harmonic. So due to pushing and pulling nature of the circuit, even harmonic distortion is cancelled without increasing odd harmonic. So you know now the one problem is also overcome. Harmonic distortion is reduced. Here magnetic saturation is reduced. Second is harmonic distortion is reduced due to pushing and pulling nature of the circuit. Even harmonic distortion is cancelled without increasing odd harmonic. So harmonic distortion is reduced. Now third, once harmonic distortion is reduced, you can adjust the load for the maximum output power. So there is no need to sacrifice our power to have a low harmonic distortion. Once harmonic distortion is reduced, then you can adjust your load for a maximum output power for a low harmonic distortion. So in this way, in this circuit, all three drawbacks of the single-ended transfer coupled amplifier is overcome. So this is called working of the circuit, or this is called operation of the how the circuit is operating, how the circuit is working, and how the three drawbacks of the transfer coupled amplifier is overcome. Here, this is the discussion of a class A push-pull amplifier is over. Now, you may have questions, sir, here you have written your harmonic distortion is cancelled. How it is cancelled? So let us do the mathematically. So next topic I am discussing the theory of operation of class A push-pull amplifier. Let us do the theory of it. Theory of operation means, let us see the mathematically how you can say the one harmonic distortion is cancelled. You know that the here signal both are having a 180 degree phase shift. So base current is also having a 180 degree phase shift. So I can write the equation of the, here we are seeing that both the signal Vs1 and Vs2 having a 180 degree phase shift. As a result, base current having also a 180 degree phase shift. So I can write the, let us assume the base current for a transistor first is given by this equation. So naturally I have to say the base current 2 is what? Opposite to this. So I am writing like this. So this is nothing but I should write It is nothing but the IB2 is nothing but the IBM cos omega t plus pi. Cos pi plus theta is negative, you know this. So that's why I am writing like this. Now, you already have studied the collector current passing through the transistor 1 can be written in this form. ICQ A0 plus A1 cos omega t plus A2 cos 2 omega t plus A3 cos 3 omega t plus A4 cos 4 omega t. Here there is a current flowing at quiescent condition in transistor first. There is a extra DC component. There is a value of the current at the fundamental frequency. There is a value of the current at the second harmonic. There is a value of the current at third harmonic. Similar way, I can write IC2 is nothing but the ICQ plus A0 plus A1 cos, but instead of omega t I should write omega t plus pi plus A2 cos 2 omega t plus pi plus A3 cos 3 omega t plus pi and so on. So I can write it is ICQ plus A0, this is minus A1 cos omega t, you know, because pi plus theta is minus cos theta, so I am writing for this. This is plus A2 cos 2 omega t, because cos 2 omega t plus 2 pi. So you can write minus A3 cos 3 omega t and so on. Say this is equation number 1. Say this is equation number 2. So I can write IC1 minus IC2, I can write, look here, with this minus this, so you can, this minus this means 2A cos omega t plus 2A3 cos 3 omega t plus 2A5 cos 5 omega t. You can see here this term is cancelled. 1 minus 2, this term is cancelled. So second order harmonic is cancelled. So I can say output voltage having a how much harmonic? Fundamental frequency, third harmonic, fifth harmonic. So you can say harmonic distortion is cancelled. As a result, you can write the third harmonic is given by this equation. Fifth harmonic is given by this equation. And overall harmonic distortion is given by this equation. So this mathematical step show that even harmonic distortion is cancelled without increasing odd harmonic. Say odd harmonic is not increases. So in this way, in push-pull amplifier, even harmonic distortion is cancelled without increasing odd harmonic. As a result, harmonic distortion is reduced in a push-pull amplifier. So you can adjust the load, but this is cancelled provided both the transistors should have matched pair. Identical transistors should be used, so you can get very good result. Now one more problem, one more benefit. Now one more benefit, due to cancellation of this harmonic distortion, whatever ripple present in a power supply after VCC is also removed. In this way, you can discuss your class A push-pull amplifier. Let us do the two numerical. See, the question is like this. Design a class A transfer coupled amplifier to deliver 3 watt power to load RL 4 ohm. PT of the transistor is given. Efficiency of transformer is 75%. VCC they have given 20 volt. VB is given. Stability factor is given. Find the primary impedance of the output transformer. Approximate operating point. Value of R1R. Already you have done such kind of problem. Just for practice we are doing. So I am writing what they have given first. They have given the, you want PL 3 watt. PT they have given 10 watt. RL they have given 4 ohm. RE they have given 5 ohm. Efficiency of the transformer is how much? 70%. VCC how much? 20 volt. VB 0.4 volt. S is 10. Let us start to solve this. First, I am trying to find the first. So first I will find the PL dash. What I will find? PL dash. You know this. This RL is 4 ohm. Here PL they are asking you 3 watt. This efficiency is 75%. I have to find PL dash. So I can say 75% of PL dash will transfer to PL. So PL dash is nothing but the PL upon 0.75. So I can write PL dash is equal to 3 upon 0.75 means 4 watt. What I get? 4 watt. So here how much you should have? 4 watt. So and then you can convert how much? 3 watt years. Remaining 25% is wastage. Now second. No, this is the first we are doing, but second in this what I want. Now we know that PD maximum is 2 PL dash. So 2 into 4 it is 8 watt. We have to see whether our transistor is operated in a safe region or not. So you can see that here PD max is less than the PT. PT you know maximum average power dissipation capability of a transistor. So if PD max is less than PT, so transistor is safe. It is operated in which region? Safe region. Which region? Safe region you can say. Transistor is operated in a safe region you can say. Transistor is safe. Transistor is operated in a safe region. Now, so once we have checked, what is RL dash? RL dash is nothing but the VCC square upon 2 PL dash. So it is 20 into 20 upon 2 into 8. So RL dash is nothing but the 25 ohm. So your answer primary, this is nothing but the primary impedance. Primary impedance of transformer. Primary impedance of transformer. So what is the secondary? This secondary is a 4 ohm. So according to maximum power transfer theorem, the secondary is also, impedance of the secondary is also 4 ohm. So I can write your, for a transformer I can write primary impedance is 25 ohms, secondary impedance is 4 ohm. This is your answer of a. Now let us more specific. You have to also mention the power rating. Power rating should be more than PD max. Already you discussed. So I can write it should be more than PD max. So I can write 9 watt. I don't mind for this. So it should be greater than what? 8 watt in short. 8.2 like so. Now let us do the calculation for the second B. For B I can write your IC is nothing but the 2PL dash upon VCC. So 2 into this is your 4 upon 20. So 0.4 ampere. Now they are asking you operating point. Means they are asking you this coordinate. What is this coordinate? So already we know that in transfer coupled amplifier, VCQ is nothing but the VCC. You can check your first or second lecture. So operating point is nothing but the 20, 0.4. This is actually I should write in a 20 volt, 0.4 ampere. This is your answer B. They are asking you find the operating point. So I have to find VCQ, ICQ. VCQ is nothing but the VCC, and already we have find the ICQ. This is nothing but the ICQ. This is nothing but the ICQ. Now third they are asking you the value of R1 and R2. Already know from the circuit diagrams, you must have, you remember this circuit. I am showing you circuit. This is writing VR2, this is R2, so this is your VB. So from the circuit I can write VR2 is nothing but the VB plus IERE, or I can write VB plus ICRE. So I can write VB they have given 0.4 volt plus this is IC they have given 4 ampere, and RE is how much? IC is 0.4 ampere, and RE they given 5 ohm. Check your here they have given 5 ohm. So I can write VR2 is equal to 2.4 volt, and you know this is a VCC. So from this I can write, VR2 is nothing but the VCC into R2 upon R1 plus R2. So I can write here VR2 is equal to VCC into R2 upon R1 plus R2. You know potential divided equation. So this is your 2.4 volt. This is your 20 into R2 upon R1 plus R2. Say this equation 1. Second is, you know that R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2 is given by S into RE. S they have given 10. This is 5. This is R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. This is equations 2. By solving the equation, solving equation 1 and 2, we can write R1 and R2. By solving the equation 1 and 2, you can write R1 is 416 ohm. In this way, you can solve this numerical. Already know this, we have done this only for revision. So we already, this is over now for this numerical. Second numerical to do. This is second numerical. Now, my planning is to give this numerical for the Viva questions in your Moodle platform. So, on a Moodle platform, I will give this numerical and you have to write the answer on a Moodle side. What the primary impedance of the output transformer, what the approximate operating point, what the value of R1 and R2. So on a Moodle platform, I'll put this numerical for your, you can say, your practice. Okay, here is I am giving the end of the lecture.